was an unbelievable year. It was a good year. Just ups and downs, and our guys went through a lot this year. People just don't know about, but hung in there all the way to that championship game, and was able to play some good basketball. But yeah, it was a great experience for us.
I tell you, emotional year for you. I mean, you and I kind of talked about it. I mean, I think it's probably still hadn't set in. You know, your oldest son Hudson and Guino, they've been there 4 years, and all the other players, they're gone. And you know, I can almost remember last year when y'all had senior night, and I think there's one or two, maybe three seniors that graduated, and I'm looking over, and then you had your whole team, sitting there. And I'm going, wow, that's pretty amazing that you had the success you had last year, and then knowing that all those guys were going to be back, and kind of reminisce over the last 4 years, and then we'll get into this deal. But one, what a great feeling for your son. I mean, I think maybe you won 4 state championships yourself. Is that, if my memory is correct? So.
Yeah. I won as a player. We won 3 at the academy.
Oh, we won 3.
Yeah, 3. My dad ended up winning 6.
Right.
So those first 3 I was a part of. Yes.
And I didn't know that. I just thought I didn't. That's one thing I didn't know about the Brown. I couldn't remember if you won all. I know there were 6, but I didn't know if you were in all 4. And at that time, probably you didn't play as a freshman too. So
right.
If you go back to that age, that's. But I'm telling you, it's been fun watching you. It's been fun watching your, ever since the Manzano days when you were coaching at Manzano, and I actually got to coach against you, but I've watched you just, grow with your players, and see your mindset change as you got better. You believed in your system and got good assistant coaches, and it's been fun. It's just been fun for me to watch. So
it has been. And it's been fun to be a part of, and this year was our focus, just because these really good seniors, it was their last run, it was their last year, and we kind of built everything toward this year and had some success along the way. But for it to end the way it did, playing against Sandia in a really competitive game that a lot of people enjoyed, it was very special.
Well, and I'll speak, and I'll just speak in big terms, but I haven't seen a team, and it made me go back to the Hobbs era with Tasker and things like that has dominated a district. And your district is no pushover. I mean, it's one of the top. I mean, you got 4 teams in the state tournament, so I've never seen a team dominate a district with, and I think Sebastian and I kind of, our comment was, your bench is not that strong or whatever. Well, you proved us all wrong on that. Mm-hmm. You developed your bench. Your bench came in, and actually the last 4 or 5 games, you really trusted your bench. You put them in, and then they just came in and did a great job. But speak on that, man. That's something historical in my mind.
Yeah. So being in our district, even though we've had some success, it's been very competitive. This year we had a little bit more success within our district. So, but it was still very competitive. The Cleveland games, we've lost to Cleveland last year. We lost to them, and the year before we lost to Cleveland. And every time we play Cleveland, it has been a battle, even if the score didn't reflect it. This year we had a tough game here with them where it was hard to control with 2 of them. It was hard to control Remy, and they got better every time they played us. And Rio Rancho, it's always been a tough task to go to Rio Rancho and play well at Rio Rancho. And Rio Rancho, the first time we played them this year, it went down to the last few possessions. And so, and then Cibola. Now Cibola is getting better, and Cibola had a really good year. And they're on the up and coming, and they're competitive as well. We matched up well with Cibola for us this year, so we had some good games against Cibola. But it's always that rivalry is always a fun one for us. But district here has been competitive. We've had some success, especially this past year. But our district usually does well in the state tournament.
Well, I just like I said, it's historical, and I'll go back to and I haven't researched it, but you go back to the Hobbs days when I played, and what Tasker did and how he dominated. I mean, the whole state with scoring 180 points, 170 points, and in those point margin that he won by. And I think one time Yotis in the newspaper said you were winning by 42 points in your district or whatever, and I think it went down a little bit as the deal. But I just not pressing, just playing fundamental basketball, just playing hard nosed, and players just stepping up at crucial times. And there was multiple players. It just wasn't, one player. Aguina was probably the most consistent, but I tell you, the line could take a game over. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Your son was, stopping players. It was just fun to watch. I think out of all your years, the basketball IQ of that team. I mean, because a lot of times, if a team, substituted and there was a mismatch, you weren't yelling and screaming. They just knew right then that mismatch is there. Let's get the ball to him. And
right.
I don't know how many times I saw that this year, and I just kept that's like a coach's dream when you're sitting there. The players are gonna they know who's coming in, they know who they're gonna guard, who they're gonna defend, and that is a lot with coaching, but it also is just also with players that are in very, very, very high at basketball IQ.
Definitely. And it was fun to coach these guys with their IQ. And you had to coach them a little differently. You had to give them options and choices and that type of thing. We didn't want to demand certain absolutes with them. The playing together and playing hard, that already kind of was taking care of itself. But in terms of our offense, if we were to, we ran set plays, but within the flow of our offense, we wanted to give them options so they could actually feel the game. They knew how to play together. They were unselfish in getting the ball where it needed to be. They trusted that the ball would come back to them if, they needed it to in a better position. That was kind of how it was with these guys. Is we didn't want to overcoach them and make them have these mandatory absolutes, especially offensively, even within our sets. We wanted the ball in certain places with certain people, but they were really good. Our guys were really good at adapting and adjusting and being flexible. Defensively was very similar as well. There's times where we stayed on the ball, and there's times where we switched, and we could switch quite a bit because we had similar type players. But going all the way down to that Sandia game, that last game of the year, there's a lot of switching going on, and Kenyon was out there switching with our guards and having to guard Isaiah and having to guard Gad. But we felt like we could do it. And we felt like the strength of our team was its connectivity, them being connected. And so that was definitely the strong suit. And then our younger guys have learned from our older guys, and how to communicate through situations and how to stay connected. So, yeah, the IQ, Steve, was really high level with this team this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to Everguard Roofing and top 10 plays of the week and come back and talk more about Volcano basketball.
And connect the big three for Jesse James Gonzalez. Give him 18. She sees the play before it happens. Free ball opportunity. Got it. Ricky. It's our first of 10. McGarry gets free and scores two.
Now. Hawkins jumping against Gallegos, and it's Texaco controlling the tip as they did yesterday. Curtis letting one fly early, and Texaco
Artesia by 10. Shoot it. LeCorn fires a deep three. Yes!
Not over.
Flashes it home. We'll leave it right here. LeCorn.
Just tipped away. Taya Benali, the young Benali scooping, scoring, and heading to the line.
Height matters. A steal by Campbell. Campbell driving the basket against Lemus. Gets him up in the air, puts it up and scores easy.
Moses short corner, that one well off the mark, but the follow-up,
Hawkins.
big time there.
Nope,
That was
not
Teddy
Hawkins.
Wallen.
Yep, Wallen. What a
Just want Benali to go one-on-one here. By two defenders, past two more to the basket. She scooted past four Hobbs Eagles. Adams with some space, got it!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
All right, we're about ready to go. Hey, welcome back, Steve Davis Show. We got Greg Brown here with Volcano Vista, 4-time state champion, and we're going to go back to the state tournament. What a tournament! I mean, late games and you kind of your teams were prepared and you came out winners in the first two. And I don't know what highlights do we have here, Aaron? So here we go. Let's go to the state championship game, and there's Gonzalez hitting. I don't think you can see this, can you?
I can see some of it, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Speak on this game, Greg.
So, yeah, I mean, it is a little bit small with the visual, but, we always want to start with paint, always start with our main weapons, and that's David and Kenyon trying to get some type of penetration, which will allow Hudson and Ryan to have, a little bit more space, as you see Ryan there. But Ryan doesn't get that shot without, the helping on Kenyon. And they can't help on Kenyon unless Kenyon has the ball. And so we got to get him the ball and some of those low block touches. It took David to the second half to get going. He had a couple moments in the first half, but yeah, Sandia does a great job of defending us and defending Kenyon and David and getting real physical with Kenyon and then playing David as a driver, and so, able to get David going in the second half was important. That shot right there with Hud, we thought we were in good shape, but
so did I. I thought it was over. I really did.
But with Sandia, a 9-point lead is 3 possessions because they shoot the ball. They shoot more threes than twos, and their 3-point percentages are high enough that you have to defend them. And I know my brother was not comfortable going into the state tournament with the way they're shooting threes. He didn't think that they're shooting well enough. I don't want to say he was uncomfortable because they're always going to shoot those, but he needed them to shoot better in the state tournament. And against us, they did. And so is pick your poison, because with Sandia, if they get to the paint, their 3-point shots are a little bit better. As you can see, we're trying to keep them out of the paint. But, it was harder said than done, and able to secure that win in overtime. And you see our guys' reactions. I mean, it was an amazing kind of relief, but also just really proud of our guys.
Well, kind of speak on that behalf. I mean, I think it was a big relief for you. I mean, just I think I can speak for you because I always seem to is that you that moment. It's like it's a great to be getting the blue trophy, but at the same moment you're losing. Your oldest son and the players that have been with you for 4 years, and you're like, what's next? I mean, you're like sitting there going, well, what's next? And I just really, I think I'm in the same boat as you. It's like, okay, well, what's the next? Yeah. What's the next chapter? Where is this going to go with? Because is this the end, or is this the beginning, or is it just going to keep on going? And I think that's the question with everybody that's in the basketball world.
And we've had and created a lot of memories with our guys, but the reason why it was the relief part of it is what's our last memory created. And the last memory will be, playing against a really tough team, Sandia, and figuring out a way, just like our guys have done so many times. And that being our last experience together, that's why it was so, it was important. And I know, like, these guys got beat down with, we're not defending anything. We're, everyone's going to say we're defending champion, but we're going to get the new trophy, and we're going to try to live in the moment and take care of the process. But at the end of the day, they know that, and they knew that there was an ultimate goal at stake, and there's a real threat in Sandia. We felt we matched up with everybody, but Sandia athletically and with their length and with their mentality was going to be our toughest opponent. And for 3 games this year, they were. And in the state tournament, in the state championship game, they went toe-to-toe with us. We could never extend the lead to a comfortable place that we wanted to. We thought we did with that 3 from HUD, but then Sandia got on the glass and got on the arc again and took us into, and so glad we got into overtime because they had that shot to win it from Zay. It was the last. Was
your heart beating a little bit when you saw him? You turn the ball over and you threw it over
surreal. There. It was kind of like processing. Okay, what's happening here? Is this really happening? And when Zay missed his shot, HUD was running to the official to call a timeout, and then Cesar Cuevas was yelling timeout. I didn't even know we had a timeout. I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I was in this moment of, okay, what's happening right now, And, I mean, we didn't have a lot of late game situations with these guys, experience, because we didn't get into those very often. And so for Kenyon to be dribbling out a clock, that didn't even happen at the end of quarters because we just tried to attack. But here we are trying to dribble out a clock, and we're not comfortable. And Sandia wanted to foul in that situation. That's why Zay ran up to Kenyon and tried to go after the ball. But if he missed the ball, he's going to foul Kenyon. And that's what they wanted because they had a foul to give. But it was all a blur. It was all I rewatched it to try to figure things out, process it a little bit, and it was just one of those games, emotional and a player's game. I think we could have helped a little bit better as a coaching staff, but, we prepared them as well as we could. At the end of the day, it's going to be their game.
Well, when it went into overtime, you probably heard me say this many times, and I kept track of it this year, okay, because I had never kept track of it. The first team that scores a basket, not a free throw, usually has a high percentage of winning the game. And y'all came out and you hit the 3, and I'm like, in the back of my mind, that's the deal, because I tracked it this year. So basically, out of all the games I did this year, this is college and at Western and also at Highlands. It was 8 for 11. That was like almost 8 for 11 if that happens. So remember that if you're going to an
That's right.
overtime, just make the first basket. We have a chance.
Yeah.
But I've been following it, and this year I tracked it. So I thought you were in good
Interesting.
shape.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about Volcano basketball.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hey, welcome back, Steve Davis Show. We got Greg Brown, 4-time state championship, Volcano Vista head boys basketball coach. Greg, a little emotional for myself and Sebastian because we're actually close to your brother. Okay, I make no secrets. I went to this practice and I was hoping that he could pull the upset, but I didn't think he could do it. I'll be honest, be up front. But and he really, what he's done with that program is unbelievable. I was actually three years ago. He sat there and gave me his vision, and he's lived up to it. He says he's changing basketball. We're going to be in better shape. We're going to run. We're going to shoot. We're going to defend. And he really made those kids believe. And he put some banners up. I kind of challenged them a little bit, So, when I coached there, we have these banners up there that, we won district. And, came in second state, and we, whatever, and all of a sudden, now he won his district, and he's putting banners up on the wall, and making a name of himself. And I know you're proud of that, but I'm just saying, you prevail. But back to the emotion part of it, I got to wear my purple shirt. I got to wear it was like a big surprise all day. I had it hidden, and I was trying to tell everybody this is a special night. It's going to be a great game. Because like you said, they were prepared, they were ready, and they were a difficult, for you to guard and defend. And, of course, they're well scouted. I mean, they were ready. And as you know, it's hard to beat a team 2 or 3 times in 1 year.
Yeah, especially them. And
one last thing. The biggest thing of the night, though, is your mom set up in the booth with us. So I just want to let you know that was because she's done that. I don't know if you knew that, a couple of games, 2 or 3. Yeah. Well, during the year, she'd come up and sit with us, and that was
great.
That was special.
Yeah, it was. And you were in the purple, Steve. We appreciate it. I was looking if there was a Sandia or volcano logo, and you went neutral. I don't know how you did that, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, my mother, she's a mess during these games, but a good mess. It's one of us is going to win. You keep telling her that. And, but she just wanted to kind of watch the game. And, when she's with you guys, she knows that, she isn't going to be, amongst all the crowd, and she's, there's some room, and she feels good to being with you guys, and so, but going back to my brother, and what he's done is, so it just seems like kids nowadays, they want 2 things. They want an opportunity to get better. That's important to kids, especially the kids that he has, and those championship type kids. They want, okay, what is the plan for me to improve? And my brother has done a really good job of providing that plan for his kids. So if you look at Zaire and his development, and you go back and look at Drew a couple of years ago, and you look at Gad and Zay, and those kids have a plan of improvement, and they always have opportunities to get better. They have opportunities to get in the gym, and then they have him who's kind of in charge of, what the plan is and why the plan is what it is, type of thing. And so that's number one, is that they want to get better. These kids do. And then the second thing is, and this is what he's the best at, kids need love. And it doesn't matter how hard they are, how tough they are. They need to know you got their back. And he's the best at getting his kids back. He's very loyal, hardworking, and they know that. They see it, they feel it. And because of those 2 things, his love for the kids and the way that it's real, and then the fact that he really has an understanding of how to get them better, that's why they've been successful and will continue to be so.
Well, Greg, we ran out of time. I just want to, put a little pressure on you. I expect a 5-peat, so put that up there on the thing. No pressure from ProView at all, but
no pressure.
No pressure at all. So just put that up on the bulletin board. ProView expects us to be be talking here in a year from now. Hey, thanks for everything you've done. So
thanks for everything you guys have done. We appreciate you.
All right, have a great day.
Thanks, Steve.